international researcher network. They surveyed children aged from 11 to 15 across about 50 countries within Europe and North America. This is something that's conducted every 4 years, and they focus on the physical, emotional, and social well-being of the youth in these countries. So our team's goal was to focus on mental health and body image, because when we saw the data set, we saw that there are factors that relate to mental health and body image, but there wasn't anything that clearly really defined what a student's mental health and body image was like. So we contextualized the methods, the collection and usage of data with using the principles of data feminism, and we'll get into what inherent biases and shortcomings we found. So one of the first principles of data feminism that we focused on was examining power. And so we took one of the maps that was provided with the data set that outlines 15-year-old boys who report high life satisfaction in Europe, and we immediately realized that this can't possibly accurately represent what high life satisfaction looks across the world. So we just know that this is a very limited perspective because they're only focusing on European and North American countries. And so the map you see on the right is one that our group generated that gives people a better idea on what it might look like in Asia. And you can see a huge difference, and that's why we wanted to show that this issue goes beyond the limited perspective that the research provided.
Another principle we consider is rethinking binaries when providing context. So first, the survey only collects whether the students identify as girls or boys. So an initial visualization of the data would fail to acknowledge identities outside the gender binary, as we see on the left. Perhaps a better possibility would be acknowledging this limitation in the description, like in the middle. And then an even better reimagining would include these questions in the survey itself to acknowledge diverse experiences of all youth, which includes an increased likelihood in negative body image amongst youth with gender dysphoria. And then a final principle acknowledges challenging power, so democratizing the data and survey protocols, which actually aren't available until 3 years later, including more perspectives such as youth, local researchers, community leaders, and setting up ways for this research network to help local communities engage in data and build youth-focused solutions for health.
So the second set of data was Youth Behavior and Health Survey. So the original survey is named Youth Risk Behavior Surveillance Survey, and it was created in the aftermath of the AIDS epidemic in the 90s. But we were analyzing the 2019 data. We renamed the survey to remove the word surveillance because we thought that word was particularly punitive in relation to health and children. And we also didn't like the negative connotations that come along with describing children as at risk or risky. So we removed the word risk. The participants of the data creation include students in grades 9 to 12 attending US high schools, and they come from a variety of backgrounds. As you can see, we made a graph that shows the makeup of the questions that the survey asked, and you can see a heavy emphasis on the CDC's concerns with youth sexual behaviors and substance use. We thought this wasn't an accurate portrayal of all that health is and need to be asked in a health survey. We do think that the main reason these were the focuses is because the survey was originally created in the aftermath of the AIDS epidemic, but we wanted to question why the survey is still concerned with these areas, and if the data if this data is helping anyone anymore. So we made a new graph that shows our concerns with the CDC's survey and shows areas that we think would better represent information on health, such as mental health, health treatment, and health insurance. These changes would provide better information for a health survey that we believe would create more positive change. Thank you.